Well, hello everybody, welcome back. Jiujitsu2000 here today. I'm back. I hope you guys are doing fantastic out there. I've got an interesting video for you today. We're gonna go for a motorcycle ride, and I'm gonna test having my camera mounted on the left side of my helmet. But what I want to talk about this video is I kind of got to give you guys a little bit of a disclaimer, because the video looked real dry. It looked real flat. The colors were off. The content was too good to not post the video, so I thought that I would share why or what happened with these colors. So I saw a guy on YouTube that was doing motorcycle videos. He only had a few videos, and I noticed his quality of video was very good. And I'm saying that what the camera captured. The words out of his mouth were terrible. The videos, his content and what he was talking about was, in my opinion, trash. But like I said, I noticed that his settings on his camera and stuff were good. He did another video where he was talking about the settings that he had on his camera, and he showed exactly what settings, and he had the same camera that I use, which is the GoPro Hero 7 Black Edition. So I went and I watched that video, and I had my camera out and I put the exact same settings that he used. And I went out and shot that video that you're fixing to watch, and I thought, well, it's gonna look fantastic. Well, the long story short, as you could see, the video did not look fantastic. And that's because I think in his area where he was, he had a lot of trees, and so he had a lot of shadows and things like that, and green and different colors. And for me, you know, I'm in the Southwest, and so I didn't have all that. So the settings that worked fantastic for him did not work for me. So I want you guys to take this video with a grain of salt. There's one spot where I'm looking off to my left and I'm driving the motorcycle, and I'm talking about the San Francisco peaks and how beautiful the mountains are. And I could see them very clearly with the naked eye, but the camera, I noticed in video editing, wasn't really picking up those mountains off in the distance. I'm working on the settings to get the camera where it's got good quality, and I hope you enjoy this video. It was a lot of fun. And I wanted to test out this mount. So I've got this side mount, and I had to put the little adapter here. Got the little tether line that's connected to this bolt here. So this plugs into the 7, and it goes down. And then I just used some Eternal Bond tape. This stuff works pretty good, and in the event that you change your mind and you want to get that tape up, you can just put a little isopropyl alcohol and it'll take up that residue. But what I did with the wiring is I went between the chin pads and the helmet itself, and I routed the wire all the way around the back, and there's a dead cat right there in the front. So it's a very clean install. The main thing that I'm testing is this camera being mounted on the side of the helmet. I just don't know how that's going to turn out. So we're going to take a look. Let's tuck that in there. Hope you guys are doing well. Let's go for a ride. Well, hello everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome back. Jiujitsu2000 here today. I'm back. I hope you guys are doing fantastic out there. Got an interesting video for you today. We're gonna go for a little motorcycle ride. Beautiful weather outside. This is gonna be a short video, and my main concern in this video is to check out this microphone and this camera angle. As you can tell, I have the camera mounted on the left side of my helmet, and I'm just testing this out to see how it's going to work. So I kind of like it. I think what I really wanted was a chin mount, but I had trouble with that because when the one that I had these two straps that went on either side of the mount, and they came up through the chin portion on my helmet, and those straps had slide release buckles, and they worked good. I mean, the chin mount was solid and the camera mounted very well there, and I thought that that would have been a very good viewpoint, you know, for the camera angle. I thought it would have been fantastic, but I ran into a problem. That's a house I used to own years ago. I ran into a problem, and the problem was when those straps went down, they compressed the weather stripping, I guess you could call it, and when I would put my visor down, there was two small holes, if for the lack of a better description, and those holes allowed airflow into my helmet. I'm looking for different options. There is a website, chinmounts.com, and you can put in what helmet you have, and depending on what helmet you have, they have different sticky chin mounts that'll mount right up. I mean, they're the perfect contour to that, to your specific helmet. But in my case, for my helmet, they don't have one. They have like 7 different versions of my helmet on there, but none of them look the same in the pictures, you know, to the mouth portion or the vent portion of the helmet that I use. So those chin mounts, even though they're fantastic, they are just not going to work on my helmet. They're about $35, but I just wish they had one that would fit my helmet, because then all my little problems would be solved and I'd be good to go. So I'm still in the process of trying to figure out what options are going to work for me. And I'm curious how this camera is going to do. I'm using the GoPro Hero 7 Black Edition. I am recording at 4K 60, and then I adjusted a few other different parameters to try to get the camera to what I want it to do. So hopefully I'll get some good frame rates and be able to have some quality looking footage for you guys. I'm not going to go too fast today. I'm just going to go for a little cruise. I'm doing 40 right now. I don't know if you can see the speedometer or not from your point of view, but I'm doing 40. This bike runs really good. It's a great bike. I mean, I like it. So that's those semi trucks that you see off to the left there, that's Interstate 40. That's a westbound Interstate 40 going to Flagstaff. And for those of you who don't know, which most of you probably know, I live in a small town called Winslow, Arizona. Right now I'm heading kind of west, and just for this video today, to have a little bit of fun and just to get out and test this camera, I'm gonna go north of town a few miles, maybe out towards the reservation, and then I'll turn around and come home. So nothing too crazy today on this video, just testing out another camera angle to see, you know, how does it look, what kind of footage does it make for me. And that's really all I'm doing today. But the bike's running great, everything's looking good, and let's get on out. We're gonna go north of town. So now we're heading north, leaving Winslow, and the speed limit out here is about 40. Let me turn that turn signal off. There we go. Right over here on the right, excuse me, that used to be a golf course out there years ago when I was in high school. All that dirt used to be a golf course, and the city used to invest a lot of money out there taxpayers' dollars used to go to a golf course, and there was only 5 people in town that played golf or something like that. Millions of dollars going into this golf course and 3 people playing golf. I guess I say that because I wasn't one of those people that played golf. I was a wrestler. I was a martial artist. Okay, up here on the left, you can see that little tiny plateau looking thing over there. That's what we call 5 Mountain. Even though they're not mountains, it's what we call 5 Mountain. And all those houses off there to the left, that is a place called 5 Mountain Estates. So a lot of people live out there. And then on the right side of the road, you're going to see some houses and stuff out here in a minute. The right side of the road, this is a place called Ames Acres. I used to live out there when I was in high school. Then I joined the Navy and I took off and did my thing, but we're actually heading north and we're heading out towards the Navajo Reservation. So we'll just get out and get a little ride in. And the mountain off there with the snow-capped mountain, hopefully you're seeing it way off in the distance. That's Flagstaff. That's west of here, and that's the San Francisco Peaks. That mountain is the highest point in the state of Arizona. 12,633 feet. And I've hiked that, I've climbed that half a dozen times in my life. And I'm going to do it again before I die. That's one of my bucket list things. I have a few things on my bucket list, and doing Humphreys again is definitely one of them. Another thing that I would like to do before my time is done is I definitely want to go back to Hawaii, and I want to go back to Alaska. Those are my 2 favorite places in the world. Well, with the exception of Japan. I love Japan too. Okay, so off here on the right, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see it too well, but from the road here, not this road here, but this next turn, that little trailer with the roof over it, that little tan trailer, we used to own that when I was in high school, and it was very nice. We took really good care of that place. It's on 2.5 acres, and that was our place, and it was really nice. We did a lot of work out there. It was a beautiful property. We sold it when we moved from Winslow to New Mexico. But this, like I said, the right side of the road is Ames Acres, and the left side of the road is 5 Mountain Estates. There's a lot of houses out here now. Back when I was in high school, there was only maybe 10 houses out here or something. So it's like tripled. There's probably 30 or 40 houses out there now. But, you know, people have kids and people buy land and they do things, and that's just the way life is. Now, off on the right, way off in the distance out there, hopefully you're seeing the Painted Desert kind of looking stuff. Now, that's not the Painted Desert that's popular here in the state of Arizona, because the Painted Desert that I'm aware of is southeast of Holbrook, Arizona. But I still think that these views that we get to see are absolutely stunning. They're beautiful views. There used to be a cattle guard right here where we're going right now, but they took that out years ago. And these fences on the left and right side of the road used to never be here. This was all open range out here when I was in high school. You could get your motorcycle and just pull off, and there's a few little roads that we used to go on that we just simply don't go on anymore. So I'm doing about 45 miles an hour, and for a perfectly good reason. I'm testing this speed. I'm trying to get myself used to 50, 55, because I'm wanting to do a lot of trips where I travel across the state, different places, and this is about the speed I want to go, about 55. Now off there, way off in the distance, not the mountain, but you can see the flat out there. I did an overnighter out there in March of 2018. I think it was March. That's a place called Tucker Flat, and it reminds you of like the Bonneville Salt Flats. It's really cool little area. That little plateau thing people used to go out there and shoot guns, and there was a road that went out there, and it went up, oh gosh, I don't even remember. Over here, I think, is where it went. There's a little road, and we used to come out here and rabbit hunt, but there's a road right here on the left, and there's also one on the right. But like I said, these fences never used to be here, so you could take that little road and you could go do all your shooting and rabbit hunting and everything out there, no problem. And this gate right here on the right, this green one, again, these fences never used to be here, but we used to go over there and hike around and do all kinds of things in my youth. That was what we did. It was a lot of fun. That little backstop area right there, people used to shoot out there. Now you can see the beautiful terrain way off in the distance. I mean, this is very, very, very beautiful to look at. Very, very pretty land out here. Now right up here in front of us, there's going to be a curve to the left. You can start to see the signs that say turn. People, and I'm not knocking any of the natives or the Navajos or nothing like that, but sometimes there's a few of them that'll get drunk and they'll be heading out north back to the reservation, and they're driving drunk and they miss this curve. They don't turn here, which it's not much of a turn, but the locals, we call this dead man's curve. Now this gate here to the left, you can go in there and you can get inside of that plateau right there, right inside of there, and that's a nice shooting area because you got good backstop area out there. There's some roads. You can see a truck off there in the distance, but these roads, again, you can go all the way out to Tucker Flat, and then over here on the right, there's some shooting out here that's long range. So people come out here and they shoot 1,000 yards out here. So it's a nice little area. But this is northern Arizona. I'm just sharing with you the town that I live in and some of the little areas around here. Not many trees, as you can see. It's a desert, definitely desert out here, but it is what it is. It's home if you make it home. It is what you make it. And positive attitude, positive mindset goes a long way out here. I'm doing about 50 miles an hour, and I'm just taking it easy. I'm trying to get used to this speed, because this, you know, I've learned that if you slow down a little bit, you see more things. You know, if you're cruising down the road doing 90, you might not see something that might spark your interest. So I'm just slowing my roll a little bit and enjoying this beautiful day. It's a little bit chilly outside, even though it doesn't look like it. It looks like it's nice and warm outside, but it's not. It's a little chilly, but it's okay. No problem at all. There's a glimpse of Tucker Flat from the north side. And I've went about 9 miles since I left the house. Down in the little Colorado River, there's some cottonwood trees. And those cottonwood trees are good for going out there and practicing friction fire. So it's nice that I have those cottonwood trees that I can go play around in and practice my survival skills. So it's really nice. Now up here on the left, you see a building up here on the left, off in the distance. That building is where the old dump used to be. So back in the day, people used to bring their trucks full of trash and their trailers and everything. And right up here, it used to be the landfill. And then they closed it, and they covered everything up. They buried everything, and it's not the landfill anymore. The landfill now is over by kind of by that golf course that I was telling you about. That's dirt. They used to call it a golf course. It used to be really nice back in the day, but you know, they just poured way too much money into it because there wasn't enough interest in golf. So I thought that it was a waste of money, waste of local taxpayers' dollars. Now here you can see a better view of the San Francisco peaks. That's the mountains that I was talking about a minute ago. That's Flagstaff, and the snow-capped one in the middle That one is Humphreys, and that's the highest one. The one on the left, there's a Weatherford Trail, and the one on the left, I think they call that Mount Eldon. But right here, in real close to the road, that's the old landfill. So you can see where they buried everything right here with the dirt. They took all them tractors and they just buried everything. This used to be the landfill right here. And that building, it used to be the landfill building. So it's quite interesting. You know, it's funny how things change as time goes on, and people change and things change, and what used to be the landfill is now a vacant building, a locked gate. We're getting kind of close to entering the Navajo reservation. I'm not going to go on the reservation. There's nothing against going out there, but these houses over here, like on the right, those are Navajos. They live off grid out here, and I've noticed recently that there's more and more Navajos, Native American, you know, Indians that are getting solar energy and stuff like that. It's kind of neat. The pavement is going to end here soon, and when the pavement ends, we will be on the reservation. So all these houses over here, they're all off grid. But I like it out here. I would love to live out like this. It'd be pretty cool. It does get warm here in the summer, you know, and in Winslow, Arizona, the temperatures, it's not uncommon to see 105 in the summertime. But that's the choice that we make to live out here. You can see a lot of cockleburs on the side of the road, so don't bring your dog out here. He'll get full of cockleburs. Pavement's gonna end, so that means the reservation starts. Now, one of these days, I'll revisit this area, and we will explore this road, and we'll go all the way to Flagstaff, and I'll talk a lot about the Navajos and experiences that I have and growing up, and I got a lot of stories to share. But for today, since this is a short video, we're going to just turn around. We're not going to stay on the reservation today. The reservation's really pretty, and there's a place, well, I'll save that for another video, that story. But there's a place that I'll talk about that's pretty interesting. You can see all these cockleburs on the left here. See, that guy's hauling a trailer. He's going to go fill it up with water. Like I said, they're off-grid, 100% out here. But off in the distance, you can see the beautiful landscape. That is just eye candy, in my opinion. It's really, really pretty. So I hope that you guys are enjoying this video. I'm trying to keep you entertained. Sometimes I run out of things to talk about, but I do my best to be your local Winslow, Arizona tour guide, if you will, for the lack of a better way of describing it. At this point, we're just going to put a quarter in it, and I'm going to get home, because to be completely honest with you, I'm anxious to see what this video looks like. I want to see how's the angle look, how's the sound, how's things looking, because these are just test runs that I'm doing right now. I'm doing it, so for this video here, it's mainly a test video. Look at the moon is already out off in the distance. Ain't that beautiful, that landscape that you get to see? It would be so pretty to live out here. You see the cottonwoods off there, and you got all the salt cedars and tamaracks growing. Just a beautiful area. Really pretty out here. I really love the Southwest. Right up here, there's like a little gate, and some people bring trash and they dump their trash out here, and I don't like it, but there's idiots no matter where you go. There's a couple horses over there I just noticed. Wow, interesting. Didn't notice that before on the way here. So off on the right again, that's the Tucker Flat. So my right shoulder is going to be the west, and my left shoulder is going to be the east. And we are now heading south. We're going back to Winslow. Just thought I'd take a little trip out today and just enjoy riding my motorcycle. 760 miles on my bike, and on this run today so far we've went it's hitting 15 miles right now as we speak. So I got some custom settings that I plugged into the GoPro, so hopefully those custom settings are giving you guys good audio, good visual, good video. At least that's what I'm hoping for. I got another microphone that I ordered. It's a really cheap one, but it had high reviews. It was only like $7. So I will be testing that microphone in another video. I bought it just because it had solid reviews. And you got to experiment with things. Sometimes you get something, you know, sometimes there is a good thing out there that you can find. In the summertime, when the temperatures are warm, that would be nice to ride. It'd be a nice time to ride. Temperatures would be nice and warm. But the only problem with that is on the days that get over 100, this coat that I wear would be too hot. It does have spots that I can open up. It's got these little zippers on the arm and stuff that I can open up, and it will allow for airflow. So that's pretty cool. Look at this power line over here. Could you imagine the amount of work that it took to put all those poles in? And they probably had a truck or something, and imagine that was somebody's job at some point. They went out there and built all those power lines. Another thing that intrigues me is thinking about the railroad. The railroad, those men that built the railroads all across this country were hard-working men. We don't see men like that much anymore. It's kind of rare to see somebody who has that kind of work ethic. My great-grandfather, he was a locomotive engineer on the railroad, on the Santa Fe, and he retired, and he was one of the last of those really tough, gritty, hard-working men, and I love him so much. He passed away years ago, but I'll never forget him. And now we're here at Dead Man's Curve again. Yep, but my great-grandfather, he passed away from cancer years ago, and he was one of them tough old buzzards that would never say anything about anything. Like, you know, he would never say it's cold outside. He'd say it's a little chilly. Or he'd never say it's hot today. He'd say, well, it's a little warm out there. He would never say it hurt. He would say, oh, it's a little uncomfortable. But I'll never forget when he got the cancer. I was talking with him one day, and I said, how do you feel, great-grandpa? And he said, I'm in a lot of pain. And that's the first time I've ever heard him say the word pain, or acknowledging that he was suffering. And it wasn't but a day or two after that he had passed away from cancer. And he was very instrumental in my life. When I was a kid, he used to take me out to the woods, and we would go pick mistletoe off of the juniper trees, and I would bring it home, and I would put ribbons and bows and stuff on it, and I would sell it at the Christmas parade. And that's how I was making a little extra money as a child. You know, I was probably 13, 14, 15 years old or something like that. And then I found out what girls were and didn't want to pick mistletoe anymore. I learned how to chase girls, I guess. Not really. I was always really pretty conservative in my life, to be honest with you. Now, right up here on the right, there's a property, and there's a house up here like you saw. That was never here before, so somebody did that recently. They built that, I'd say within the last 5 years or something, they built that little place there. But we used to come up here, and at night you could see all the lights of our little town Winslow. Small little town. I want to say thank you for joining me today on this little video, going for this little ride out north of Winslow, Arizona. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for stopping by and hanging out with me. I really enjoyed the company. So I'm going to wrap this up pretty soon, because I don't want to bore you too much. But this was a good little ride. It was a good test for the camera. It was a good run for the bike, and it felt good. It felt good to get out and live. We only die once in our life, so we got to get out and live every single day. So that's what I'm doing, folks. I'm living, and I'm sharing that with you guys. So with all that being said, folks, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this video with me. I sure had a good time. So until next time, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a beautiful day, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.